28 minutes before the top of the hour in a Fox News alert, the Department of Justice naming former FBI Director Robert Mueller to head a probe into Russia's interference into the 2016 election. So what does this mean, and will it finally get to the bottom of the leaks surrounding the Trump White House, or will it be like so many other special investigators where it goes out of control? Our intelligence panel is here to weigh in. Former Intel Committee Chairperson Pete Hoekstra, good to see you, sir. Former Senior Intelligence Officer Tony Shaffer's with us as well. And former CIA military analyst Dr. Tara Maller is with us. So first off, let's talk about your first take on Robert Mueller. Chairman, you know him. What's your thoughts?
I think it's an excellent choice. I think this is going to put some integrity behind this Russian investigation. It's going to take it out of, it's going to take it off of Capitol Hill. You're going to find the Senate and the House Intelligence Committees are going to be much less empowered to do the work that they can, because whenever they're asking for information, it's going to be the response they're going to get back from justice is you might be impeding an investigation. So the activity is going to now be with Mueller and nowhere else. All right.
So, Tara, you used to doing investigations. You also are very familiar with Washington. Are you concerned about us making this political, or do you think that Mueller is different than all the others?
I think Mueller's a good choice. You know it's a good choice when you see Republicans and Democrats on very short notice coming out with consistent and fairly similar messages last night. He's been praised across the aisle. He's been known to be an honest broker in Washington. He brings integrity to the position, bipartisanship, and I think he has the trust of the American people, which I think is important. A lot of people have seen this turn partisan over the last few weeks. I think people are happy to see somebody brought in from the outside who, to be frank, I mean, I think the previous point's exactly correct. You know, the Capitol Hill will still handle this, and I'm glad you've seen Warner and Burke come together praising Mueller's selection, but this helps sort of depoliticize it a bit, which I think is important at this point in time. I think the Trump administration should welcome it. I think that to have a neutral third person brought in, to be honest, they should be happy with that decision, although I don't think they are.
Now let's look at the president's tweet this morning. By the way, they didn't really speak about it last night, and we're not given a heads up. He says, with all the illegal acts that took place in the Clinton campaign and Obama administration, there was never a special counsel appointed. This is the single greatest witch hunt in of a politician in American history. Colonel, you know how to investigate. You also know Washington. Is the president taking the right tack there?
Well, I agree with President Trump. I'm a bit more skeptical than my learned colleagues here. Look, everything in this town is political no matter what. And my worry always is exactly what President Trump said. Will Mr. Mueller go down the path of looking at those clear and concise and very well documented cases of wrongdoing? You know, Brian, look, I know a lot of folks in this town. I've met a lot of the senior intelligence officials. So far, there's no there for the Russia investigation. And everybody knows that if there was something there, it would have been leaked a long time ago. So I'm just concerned about what charter he's going to be given, how long this is going to stretch out, and will it go? And look, the most clear evidence of collusion with the Russians is on the Clinton side, with John and Tony Podesta actually having a relationship as lobbyists with one of the Russian banks. So
I don't know.
Mueller should look at that.
Yeah, I know. I don't think they're going there. Tara, has the intelligence community, from your contacts and your years in the CIA and the people you still know, have they turned on this administration? Is that what we're witnessing now?
No, I think that's a very unfair characterization. The intelligence community is made up of some of the most hardworking, patriotic individuals. They have missions to focus on every day, ranging from ISIS to Boko Haram to Al-Qaeda to what's going on in Raqqa to what's going on in Mosul. They're not out to get revenge on an administration. They're doing their job. They're writing the president's daily brief just as good as they were for every other president.
And you know what? I want to get everybody else in, Tara. I appreciate that's your point of view.
Okay,
now, Chairman, we do know with the Russian situation, somehow when it got to the intelligence community, it ended up in the Washington Post. Some are skeptical.
Some are very, very skeptical. But I think I trust Mueller. What I don't trust is I don't trust the Washington Post and the New York Times. What we saw this week, they released, headline-breaking stories on Monday and Tuesday. Within 24 to 36 hours, those stories were significantly discredited. So what I'm concerned about is the work that Mueller may do is how it's going to be twisted by these media outlets to improve their subscriptions, their media hits. There was applause in the Washington Post newsrooms, supposedly, when they got so many clicks on their story. They're about ratings right now. They're not about investigative reporting. They're very, very sloppy in the work that they're doing. They're doing a disservice to the American people.
If they got a call from somewhere and said, hey, I got this information from the White House, you got to print it in their defense, just how they're getting it. Colonel, Tara, Pete, great job. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.